Being on time.
Yeah. Well, okay. For an appointment at the office, for a Zoom call, for lunch or dinner meeting, how about for the deadline I told you? By the way, if you call me on a Friday at 3 o'clock and tell me, oh, we're pitching on Monday, I need this by 9 o'clock Monday, I'm not going to pretend that I'll have it to you by then. I say, well, then I'm probably not the guy you want to talk to. You're literally, um, do you really need it Monday? Well, that's when we told the client. What day did you tell the client that? Oh, it was 2 Fridays ago, but you're just calling me now. So anyway, I'm pretty good at fleshing out that kind of stuff. But at the end, yeah, being on time says a lot about who you are. I think it cuts to who your values
Yeah.
are. I'm that guy that's, I like to be, I might be sitting in the parking lot 10 minutes early before the appointment, but I never want to be the guy rolling in 10 minutes late. And if I am going to be 10 minutes late because of something just absolutely unforeseen, I'm giving somebody 20 minutes advance notice that I'm running behind. I'll ask to push a meeting back 15 minutes. A lot of people know, I mean, I got a lot going on, and a lot of people know me as that guy. And most people will show me that grace. But if it's traffic, if you're going to see a client or whatever the case is, but respect the person's time enough that we both committed to doing this thing at this time on this day. So let's be there and do it, right? And I'm serious
Yeah.
about it. So, yeah, I think don't be late with the physical appointment, the proposal, the digital appointment, whatever you committed to doing.
Yeah, it's a tough one, especially when you're in back to back. You know, when 20 years ago, when you're driving around from meeting to see clients, et cetera, you know, there were gaps in between your day.
Yes.
And now with Zooms, you can be back to back all over the country essentially.
Yeah.
In a matter of seconds.
You can.
And there's real fatigue that happens there. And so I think the being on time is important, but I think being on time isn't really a symptom of how prepared you are.
Yeah.
And in order to prepare yourself, give yourself those windows. I mean, something that I did very, very recently, we used to do hour meetings with clients. It was kind of just standard. Well, we moved them all to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And now we give ourselves a 15-minute buffer between each one.
Absolutely.
And it helps a lot. And yeah, there are definitely instances where we still go back to back, but a lot fewer than they used to be.
You and I did an episode once on the subject of digital fatigue, because it's such a big thing in our life. I can now proudly say we have enough episodes. I can't remember what episode it was, right? But you know what? It's a great point because because you might be able to do it at a desk. You rack, stack, and pack those meetings. You got to give yourself time to just stop and decompress. How about at the very least, time to just, while it's fresh, take the transcript, look at the notes, do your follow-up in writing, personalize that. Or, you know what? There's 3 things I want to investigate that came up in the meeting. Let me go check with my operations people on this, this, and this, or special request I had about that, or whatever the case is. So, you're absolutely right. You gotta balance, even though it's easier to meet and see people, you gotta balance your workload because your brain needs to break, right?
Well, and I would even say it's not worth being on time if you're not prepared,
Yeah.
Just because you can end one Zoom meeting at 11:59 and show up to the next one at noon, that doesn't do anything.
Are you going to be are you really present?
To be present?
Right.
Yeah,
right. Are
exactly.
you present there? You've got to make sure you're ready.